Today we'll be looking at two massive bats from Hell for Leather Cricket. These were made custom order and made from very low density. I hope you enjoy the video. Links will be in the description below. Thanks everybody. Let's get into it.
This is an amazing collection of Hell for Leather bats that have just come through. Matt Barton, the bat maker at Hell for Leather, he got approached on behalf of a collector in Tasmania to make two bats. He didn't care about the specs as far as the regulations go, but he wanted some low density bats made as big as you can, but to be between 210 and 210-11. And that's exactly what's turned up. The two bats themselves, one is a customised warbird. So they're both Hell for Leather customs. This one's customised in that it's not the standard warbird blade length, it's a full short handle blade and full length short handle with the Warbird's counterbalance handle on it. So you can see there, this is just stunning willow. I've had it confirmed that Matt doesn't think that he's made bats from lower density clefts for a long time, so these ones are absolutely stunning. This one here is it's supposed to be an Envy profile, and it's in the custom stickers, but my goodness, they look very, very similar, you got to say, because they're just, it's like Matt's actually grabbed the bottom of the bat and just started blowing and inflating it until he just couldn't get any more out of them. They're just so big. There's absolutely zero concaving on them. As I'll show you here, they're actually convex. See how that's rolling over? I have to show you the measurements on this because they're just ridiculous. This one here has a 76mm spine and the Warbird is 75. This one's edges are 43mm. And I think the Warbird are just under 44mm, so they're absolutely huge. Weight. Now I'm not asking you to weight, let's have a look at the weight. 210-6 with a standard handle, so no counterbalance. Handle is semi-oval to oval at the bottom hand and round to slightly semi-oval at the top. And it's just absolutely huge. Have a look at them. So you can't really get much more wood in a bat. Now the weight, 210-6, and so I'm supposed to be reviewing, not getting excited. And this one here is 210-7, so they've both come in exactly below what was requested, and the variation really in weight is just a little bit of difference in the counterbalance tip at the top here. That might add 0.2 to 0.3 of an ounce. Handle shape, let me just get to that. More towards round at the bottom hand and round at the top. So it's a different style handle. Maybe slightly semi-oval at the bottom. But have a look at the bow on it. Grain wise, okay, so they're both obviously grade 1 low density clefts, and so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 grains on that one. Tiny little bit of speck there, a little bit of speck on the back. Nothing really you can worry about because it's just such a low density cleft. To come in at 210-11, that size, you'd be expecting a bat to weigh 3 pound 4. And this one here, you've got a little bit of a knot coming through, which is not unusual since it's such a huge shape. Grain wise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 grains. So yeah, they're both pretty much all sapwood. Maybe you could say there's a hint of heartwood there, I'm not sure. But I'll know more once I oil them because these are with me for knocking in preparation. Okay, these are all prepared now. They've gone through the knocking process that I do, and they've turned into absolute front foot bullies. The warbird, as you can see there, got a little bit yellower with the oiling. Polished everything, looks quite nice. Don't know what this mark is, but I noticed that there's a few little lines up through under the stickers too, so there's something in the willow there, and there's some sort of black marking down here in the willow as well. Maybe this is black willow. Anyway, these bats were on the softer side of pressing, and I think it's just that it's really soft willow, not so much soft press. It was nice and even all the way through. It just, there was two stages of compression the faces on both bats went through, and they've been fully compressed all the way through. I knock gently all the way up here so that prevents any damage. I don't normally knock the stickers, but you can see here as I've knocked through, the little bit of frosting on these stickers is sort of chipped off. You can see that there's nothing I could do about that. It's just part of the sticker. So that's got its little shoe goo toes. So I'm doing something slightly different with toes now. They get everything gets 2 oils, including the toe, and then I'm putting 2 layers of a clear varnish on it, just to seal it properly. The varnish has a little bit of thinner in it, and then it just gets a 1 coat of shoe goo. The reason I don't like doing 2 coats to make it even thicker is I find that the second coat seems to peel off the shoe goo. So 1 coat will be enough, and then the owner can just keep that topped up. But the varnish along with the oil should stop any water ingress, and after I've put the scuff sheet on, I've put a bit of varnish just over this edge here, hopefully to prevent that issue where you get lift up. It may not, we'll see how we go. So I said that there was a slight difference in the shape, where I thought this one had a much higher peak in its spine and an offset edge, whereas this particular one, there's not as much offset in the edge and the spine. So when it came to knocking them, the Envy here has a much more concentrated middle in this part here. It's got a lot more going down lower, whereas the Warbird seems to be having more going on much higher. So I'll give those a tap up now. So nice and hard towards the edges, you can see that. So that one's nice. So when you're knocking a bat, basically you'll feel it will get harder off the mallet and off the general ball bounce, but when you're actually playing a game, it will perform much better. So it's definitely got a slightly higher pitch sound to it than what it did before. Did they take a little bit longer to knock? Maybe a little bit. But as I said before, I'd prefer to take a bat to the point where I want it to be used in the nets than a bat that's too hard to start with, and then try and soften it. Because really what you're doing when you're knocking a bat in is you're hardening that surface. You're not actually softening it. It goes through a layer of compression, and then it hardens again. So imagine that the microscopic surface of willow to be like a sponge, where that top layer is getting collapsed in on itself and getting harder, whereas below that you've got all the little pockets of the sponge still there with their elasticity. Now if it's pressed way too hard, the depth of all those collapsed cells is much deeper into the willow. But look, willow pings, you know, you can have these bats are really low density, so they're really soft and really easy to dent. It's really up to the skill of the bat maker, and these are really nice bats, I've got to say. A few lines in this scuff sheet that I've put on. It's just in the scuff sheet, but that's not really going to matter once you're using it. Really old 4-piece there, and we're going to use the Warbird first. Goodness sakes. Alright, that's the one. And this is the Dukes. Sound a little bit deeper too. So as far as seam marks go, they're just in the scuff now, and that one's pretty much ready to go out. Envy. With that huge bow, every time I hit it, it's coming back to hit me in the head. Not used to it. So I'm really trying not to delt these. You can hear that they're much harder now, and as they play in, they will loosen up and they'll really start to peak. So I'd say probably 2 hours in the nets, and this will be singing, and they really need to face some balls now. So yeah, really nice bats. So thank you very much to Tassie Tiger for sending these over, and once again well done to Matt at Hell for Leather and Simon over in Maidstone for helping pick these out. Thanks very much guys. Hell for Leather.